Hello, my loves. Welcome back to Love Arcana Vault. Take a slow breath with me for a second, because someone thought they had lost you. Or maybe they convinced themselves they were okay with losing you. But the energy I'm picking up feels like panic behind silence. Okay, let me see. The card we have here is the Hanged Man. Wait, because this is interesting. The Hanged Man is not moving. He is suspended. He is stuck between one world and another. And immediately, I'm getting that this person has been in a state of emotional pause. They may look silent. They may look calm. They may look like nothing is happening. But internally, no. Internally, they are hanging upside down in their own thoughts, trying to understand how they went from feeling in control to feeling like they are the one left waiting. Yeah, this is someone who thought silence would give them power. They thought if they pulled back, you would chase. They thought if they acted cold, you would become anxious. They thought if they made themselves unavailable, you would come searching for answers. But something changed in you, and this is where the energy turns. Because the Hanged Man tells me they are now seeing you from a completely different angle. For some of you, this person expected you to keep explaining yourself. They expected emotional paragraphs, late-night questions, maybe even little signs that you were still attached. But instead, you became quiet. Not weak quiet, not defeated quiet. More like, I've seen enough quiet, and that silence of yours, it did something to them. I'm hearing, I didn't think they would really stop. This person may have underestimated your ability to detach. They thought you were just hurt. They thought you were waiting for them to fix it. They thought you would leave the door cracked open forever. But now, from this Hanged Man position, they are realizing you were not just upset, you were surrendering. You were releasing the rope. Okay, tell me more about that. There is this strange feeling of someone watching from a distance, but not knowing what they're allowed to do. They may be checking your page, rereading old messages, looking at your photos, watching your energy shift. And I don't feel like they're just curious. I feel like they're searching for evidence. Have you moved on? Are you happier? Are you talking to someone else? Do you still think about them? And here's the part they don't want to admit. They are scared that your peace is real. Because if your peace is real, then their silence did not punish you. It freed you. That's why this card is so loud. The Hanged Man is a pause before confession. It is the moment where pride starts getting uncomfortable. They are being forced to sit with what they avoided. They are being forced to look at the connection without excuses, without ego, without the little mask of, I don't care. But there's something else here, because this person has been hiding how much they were affected by your absence. They may have acted like they were fine. They may have posted normally, laughed with friends, distracted themselves, kept themselves busy. But the emotional truth is different. The silence broke something open in them, not all at once, slowly, drop by drop, thought by thought. And now they are starting to realize that losing access to you feels very different from simply taking space. They thought they were creating distance. They accidentally created grief. So, my loves, in this first part, the Hanged Man is telling us this person is stuck, watching, waiting, and finally seeing the truth from a new perspective. They thought they lost you, and now the stillness is becoming unbearable. But we have not gotten to what they've been hiding yet. And this is where the next card starts cutting through that silence. Okay, let me pull into why they feel like they lost you. And the card coming through here is the Ace of Swords. Wait, because this changes the message. The Ace of Swords is clarity. It is truth. It is that moment where the fog gets cut open. And I'm getting that this person is not only feeling your silence, they are feeling your clarity. That is what unsettled them. Because before, maybe they could tell themselves, they're just emotional. They'll calm down. They'll come back around. They're still attached. But something about your energy now feels different, cleaner, sharper, less available for confusion, and that is making them nervous. Yeah, this is someone who noticed that you stopped asking the same questions. You stopped trying to pull honesty out of them. You stopped sitting in that place of, can you please just tell me what this is? And when you stopped seeking clarity from them, you became clear within yourself. That's the Ace of Swords. For some of you, you didn't even have to say anything dramatic. You didn't need a final speech. You didn't need to announce your exit. Your energy simply changed. Maybe your replies got shorter. Maybe your presence became more private. Maybe you stopped posting things that revealed your emotions. Maybe you stopped leaving little openings for them to step back in, and they felt that. Tell me more about that. I'm getting that this person expected emotional access to stay open, even if they were giving you mixed signals. They expected you to keep caring in a visible way. They expected you to still be readable. But now, with this Ace of Swords, you are harder to read because you are not performing pain for them anymore. That's a very specific message. They may have gone looking for proof that you still missed them and found none. Or if they did find something, it wasn't enough to comfort them. It didn't feel like the old you. It didn't feel like someone waiting by the window with their heart in their hands. It felt like someone who finally understood. And that scared them more than the anger would have. Because anger still gave them a connection. Sadness still gave them a signal. Questions still gave them a doorway. But clarity closes doors quietly. This person thought they had time. They thought your softness meant endless chances. They thought your compassion meant you would always understand their silence, their distance, their excuses, their fear. But the Ace of Swords says you started seeing the pattern instead of just feeling the potential. I'm hearing, they know now. And that may be why they feel like they lost you. Not because you blocked them. Not because you screamed, not because you made some huge dramatic exit, but because they can feel that you see them differently now. You see the hesitation, you see the avoidance. You see the way they wanted emotional benefits without emotional honesty. You see the way they acted detached while still keeping a thread tied to you. And my loves, once someone realizes you can see the truth, they cannot hide in the same way anymore. There's also something here about you glowing differently. And I want to be careful with that because this may not be for everyone, but for some of you, this person has seen a shift in your appearance, your confidence, your social energy, your presence. Maybe you are posting less, but when you do post, it hits different. Maybe you look calmer. Maybe you look more in your body. Maybe your eyes don't look like you're waiting for an answer anymore. And they are wondering, who caused that? Or what changed? Or did someone else give them what I refused to give? But the deeper truth is, for many of you, it wasn't someone else. It was you. You came back to yourself. And that is the part they cannot compete with. The Ace of Swords is showing me that your silence is not confusion. It is a decision forming. Maybe not even a final decision, but an inner decision. Like, I will not keep bleeding for someone who keeps pretending not to notice. And now they are panicking because they feel the old version of you slipping out of reach. But wait. Because there's another layer here. Their biggest fear is not just that they lost you. Their biggest fear is that you already know what they were hiding. And that fear is exactly why I want to pull into the next card. Because now we're moving from what you can see clearly into what they tried so hard to cover. Okay, what have they actually been hiding? And the card here is the Nine of Cups. Wait, because this is interesting. The Nine of Cups can look very satisfied on the surface. It can look like someone sitting there with everything lined up. Almost like, I'm good, I'm fine. I have what I need. But in this reading, I'm not getting peace from this card. I'm getting someone who tried very hard to look fulfilled without you. That is the mask. This person may have wanted you to think they were happy. They may have wanted you to believe they were unaffected, unbothered, comfortable in their choice, comfortable in their silence. But the way this card is landing, it feels like someone surrounded themselves with distractions and still felt one cup missing. And that missing cup was the emotional honesty they never gave you. Yeah, this is someone who hid behind pride. They hid behind pleasure. They hid behind ego. For some of you, they may have gone out more, posted more, laughed louder, acted like life was sweet. But internally, there was this very private ache. And I keep hearing, it didn't feel the same. Why is this energy so guarded? Because this person did not want you to know how much power you had over their emotional state. They did not want to admit that your absence changed the room. They did not want to admit that they were checking for you, waiting for you, wondering if you were going to break first. And my loves, this is where the message gets a little heavier. They thought you'd chase. That feels very strong here. They thought if they sat back long enough, if they acted satisfied long enough, if they kept their little wall up long enough, you would eventually come toward them and make it easier. Easier for them to apologize, easier for them to confess, easier for them to avoid being the vulnerable one, but you didn't. Or at least, you didn't in the way they expected. And now that Nine of Cups confidence is starting to crack, I'm seeing the oracle message, hidden feelings. I'm seeing, I was afraid. I'm seeing, watching from a distance. And I'm also seeing, regret is eating them. Because they were so committed to looking fine that they accidentally trained you to live without their emotional presence. That's the part they did not calculate. They wanted you to miss them. They did not expect you to adjust. They wanted you to wonder what they were feeling. They did not expect you to stop needing the answer. And there is jealousy here too, but it's quiet jealousy. Not always loud, not always obvious. It feels like someone trying to act above it while still watching who likes your photos, who comments, who gets close to you, who makes you smile, who gets the version of you they miss. For some of you, this person has imagined you being emotionally cared for by someone else, and it bothers them more than they want to admit. But they feel like they do not have the right to say that, because they were the one who acted like they did not care. Wait, this changes the message. Their silence was not peace. It was fear wearing a mask. They were afraid that if they came forward and told you the truth, you would reject them. They were afraid you would see how insecure they really felt. They were afraid you would realize that the coldness was never strength. It was someone trying to control a feeling they did not know how to hold. Because this person did feel something. They felt more than they said. They may have even loved you in a way they were not mature enough to express. But instead of saying, I'm scared, they acted distant. Instead of saying, I don't want to lose you, they acted like you were replaceable. Instead of saying, I'm jealous, they pretended they were above the whole thing. But the confession underneath all of this is starting to come through. I never stopped thinking about you. I wanted you to come back first. I was jealous, but I hid it. I acted fine because I didn't want you to know I was scared. And they have been sitting with that, sitting in that Nine of Cups pose, pretending they are satisfied, while the truth keeps tapping on the glass from the inside. But something recently shifted. Something they saw. Something they felt. Something about your energy made the silence feel dangerous. And that danger feeling is where all three cards start speaking together. Because now we're not looking at one piece of the story anymore. Okay, let me see what triggered this. Because now the energy is moving. And looking at these three together, the Hanged Man, the Ace of Swords, and the Nine of Cups, yeah, this person got hit with a realization they could not distract themselves out of. The Hanged Man is still showing me that pause, that waiting, that stuck feeling, but the Ace of Swords cuts through it. It's like they were hanging there in their pride, trying to convince themselves they were fine, and then something about you became undeniable. Something about you looked free. That's what triggered them. For some of you, they saw you looking happier. Maybe not loud happy, not look at me happy, but peaceful, different. Maybe you posted something simple and it landed in their chest in a way they did not expect. Maybe they saw your face, your energy, your body language, your glow, and they could tell you were no longer reaching for them emotionally. And that Nine of Cups, wait, because this is very specific. They may have looked at you and thought, they're doing better without me. That is the part that shook them. They thought losing you would be quiet. They did not expect to feel replaced. And I don't even mean replaced by another person for all of you. For some, yes. They may suspect there is someone else around you. They may be watching attention coming towards you, people liking you, people noticing you, people seeing what they tried to act casual about. But for many of you, the replacement is your peace, your confidence, your refusal to keep handing them emotional access while they keep hiding behind silence. That is what feels dangerous to them now. Because if you are peaceful without them, then they cannot use confusion to keep the connection alive. Tell me more about this. I'm getting a message coming in small, but carrying something big behind it. It may not start as some grand confession. It could start with a reaction, a casual text, a how have you been, a late night message, a little excuse, something that looks almost innocent on the surface. But underneath it, there is so much pressure. The Hanged Man shows they have been holding back. The Ace of Swords shows the truth wants to come out. The Nine of Cups shows they have been pretending they were satisfied without saying it. And now that mask is tired. So what they may confess, little by little, is, I never stopped thinking about you. They may say, I acted like I didn't care because I was scared. They may admit, I thought you would come back first. For some of you, I'm hearing, I was jealous, but I hid it. And that one feels hard for them because this is someone who did not want to look affected. They did not want to look like they were counting who had access to you. They did not want to look like your absence bothered them, but it did. It bothered them when you stopped explaining. It bothered them when you stopped reaching. It bothered them when you stopped making your pain visible. And now the confession is not just about missing you, it's about realizing they misread your heart. They thought your love meant you would wait forever. They thought your patience meant they could keep delaying the truth. They thought your softness meant they could keep hiding. But my loves, you are not the same version of yourself that was waiting for crumbs of clarity. And that is the most important part. When this person comes forward, and I do feel communication energy around this, you do not have to rush. You do not have to melt just because they finally speak. You do not have to hand over the keys to your peace because someone finally found the courage to say what they should have said earlier. Listen with your whole body, not just your heart. Watch the actions after the words, because an apology can open a door. But consistency is what proves someone knows how to walk through it with respect. And I'm not here to tell you to take them back. I'm not here to tell you to close the door either. This is about discernment. This is about you staying grounded while someone else finally stops hiding from themselves. The Hanged Man says they waited too long. The Ace of Swords says the truth is coming up. The Nine of Cups says the image they tried to protect was never the whole story. They thought they lost you. And the truth is, they may have lost the version of you that would chase, beg, explain, and decode every silence. But they have not necessarily lost the chance to be honest. If they are willing to show up correctly, so let them speak. Let them reveal what they've been carrying. But let your peace be the judge. If this reading resonated, like, subscribe and comment. I choose peace so I know this message found you. Thank you for being here with Love Arcana Vault, and I'll see you in the next reading.